I used to think I lacked motivation, but the truth, I lacked clarity. And the moment I realized that, everything changed. A lot of professionals think that they're stuck, but really they're moving without direction. And honestly, that makes every single decision and choice feel extremely overwhelming. And today, we're gonna fix that. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ariana, aka the Career Queen, and I help high-performing professionals stop playing with their career and start moving strategically. Let's get to the video. So let's talk about confusion versus clarity. Confusion creates hesitation. So when you are faced with a decision and you are confused about it, you're going to hesitate in your decision making. It's natural. It's a process that honestly a lot of people have not really thought about, even into their adulthood or a seasoned professional. They don't think about how being confused creates that hesitation, and they constantly wonder why it feels so heavy to make a decision. And it's because you're confused. You don't understand the value of either side or decision. You don't understand the downfalls of every decision or either side. So you end up feeling confused. You end up hesitating when you make your decision. And clarity has room for you to move. So once you understand something more deeper than you did at first, that gives you the space and freedom to move forward. That gives you the advantage of making a decision that you can feel confident about. So I'm not saying that you need perfect clarity or perfect certainty. What you need is enough for you to move in the right direction intentionally and strategically. Nothing's perfect. No one, nothing in the world. So I don't want you to think that you need all answers before you make a decision. You need enough to make the right decision for that time, for that moment. So here's a reality that a lot of people are either afraid to admit or they've admitted, but they haven't done anything about it. And a lot of us built an accidental career. And I know that sounds really crazy. And when you say it out loud, it's probably like, how? But it's super simple. You apply randomly, you accept jobs emotionally, and we're going to talk about that, and you chase the salary only, and you follow pressure instead of alignment. So what I really want you to think about is what it means. So if you sit there, you apply, that's applying randomly. Accept jobs emotionally. And let me say this, it may not have been your fault, meaning you were desperate, you needed money, whatever the case may be. Okay, I get that. But down the line, once you have found your footing, then you should have made a change. But most people don't because they get comfortable. So when you accept jobs emotionally, you're accepting it based on your financial need. You're accepting based on how you feel about yourself in the moment, meaning that job might make you feel better about yourself. That job might make it, it's all about emotion, feel, right? So what is it doing for you in that moment? That's why a lot of people accept jobs. They don't think about, well, will this job take a toll on me? Is this job too heavy? Is this even aligned with what I want to do and what I believe in? People don't think about those things. They think about the feeling of it. They think about what it does to them mentally versus the benefit it will have on them in the long run. That's important. So a lot of people get caught into career paths that they have went into to start off, but then they kept going because of the salary. Let's say, for example, a sales job. A lot of people don't like working in sales. So, and if you're one of those people watching, let me know. It's me. I don't like working in sales because I don't like sales. So I'm gonna be honest. So you start off working in a sales job, right? A lot of people start off in retail. A lot of people start off in, different positions that involve sales. So what happens is they get a taste of commission. They get a taste of, working at a higher end brand where your base salary is a little bit higher and the commissions are a little bit higher. And then what happens is they continue to go down this rabbit hole of chasing the salary or the money, and then they actually don't enjoy what they do. So there are so many people that are in careers that don't enjoy what they do because they kept chasing the salary. They kept chasing the higher thing. They kept chasing the commission. They kept chasing the thing that they thought would make them happy in a career, but they failed to realize that that is actually what not makes you happy in a career. I mean, salary is great, don't get me wrong, but that is not going to determine your happiness. And a lot of professionals either fail to realize that or they realize it and they're too deep in and they don't want to do anything about it. So how I really made this change and work for myself is I had to start making some intentional decisions. And I know that that sounds easy, but it's something that you have to change your mindset on. So normally when you go through the motions, your mindset is set. You're just thinking of it one way. You're only making those decisions based on that current mindset. So you do have to do a mindset shift. And the only way you can do that is by truly like being honest with yourself and working through it and allowing yourself that time and space to see exactly what it is and to make a difference and change. So things I started asking myself are, what kind of life do I actually want, right? That is a question that no new professional asks themselves. And honestly, you should really start. So if you're young and you're watching this, please take this advice. Ask yourself, what kind of life do you really want before you choose your career? Because if you choose your career first, your career will dictate the life that you actually get. So I want you to think about what work environment fits you. So if you are more of a outgoing person, you love to talk, you love to be collaborative, you love things like that, then working in an office where everyone has their own job and no one collaborates is not going to work for you. You will get into that role and literally within a week, you'll probably be like, like you're not going to like it, right? So what kind of life do you actually want? What work environment fits you? Also ask yourself what drains you, because that's important too. That was something that I did not realize. And a lot of times if you're young, you're not gonna realize this because you have to get a little bit of experience before you can realize what drains you. But even on a smaller scale, just thinking about yourself more personally or more socially, ask yourself what drains you. If being around people that talk a lot drains you, then you might not like to be on a collaborative team. Or if being around someone where you constantly feel like you have to watch what you say or you can't be open and outgoing drains you, then that means that you will not do well working on a team where everyone works in silos. So when you understand what drains you and what actually fits you, that will help you pick a work environment, a better work environment sooner rather than later. And then lastly, what energizes you, right? So this is kind of the same as what work environment fits you, but the environment is more about like where you are and what they're doing in the culture. The energize is really more about the team, the work, and all of those things. So I really want you to think about all of these things. These are some questions that really helped me change my career decisions completely. Like I was able to start making better choices. I remember getting on phone calls with recruiters that I had been referred to, right? Didn't apply, was referred, got on calls and they're telling me about the job and I'm just hearing her tone, hearing the way she's talking about the job. And I was like, this is not for me. So I declined. I, say, okay, at this time I'll pass, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because I immediately recognized a few things. I recognized that she was saying things that actually, first of all, her energy was draining me. That was number one. Second of all, the way she explained it, she outright said things that were super negative about the job. It's a work overload. She said those words. Negative. I'm not going to willingly sign up for a work overload and you're telling me it's a work overload. Negative. So once you get clarity on yourself and all of these things, you will then start to be able to make more intentional decisions, and that is the goal. And finally, alignment. I know a lot of people think that when they start working at a job or in a career, they are aligned, right? It feels like you're aligned because it's new. And what you're doing is actually shaping yourself to that environment, to that career, not the other way around, right? The career isn't shaping itself to you because it'll be doing that for everyone. You're actually shaping yourself to it. So at first it feels great. It feels good. It's just like a relationship. When you first start hanging out with someone, you are shaping yourself to that relationship, that environment. You start to kind of like collide a little bit, but eventually you will hit that brick wall or that road where it's not good, right? Because you'll stop shaping yourself. And the moment you realize that you're actually not compatible is your wake up signal. So just like that, you have to make sure that you're aligned. Your career clarity is really about the alignment. How aligned are you with this company? How aligned are you with your manager? How aligned are you with your team? all of these things matter. So you have to remember that the alignment is what actually holds this all together. Alignment is the glue of you and your career. And if you're not aligned with the things that are happening, then it's never going to feel comfortable for you. So please remember that when you think about the overwhelm, you think about the decision making, you think about the things that you're doing, the clarity that you don't have, these are the things that you have to do. You must ask yourself these questions. You know, what type of career you actually want, what life you actually want, what energizes me, what drains me. You have to do the work, because if you don't, it will work on you and you will end up feeling burnt out. And I will be doing another talking about being burnt out next week. So make sure you tune in for that, because that's a conversation that a lot of people need to have with themselves internally. Because if you don't get this part correct, then chances are you will need the next part. So I really do hope that this helped you. If your career feels random, you feel overwhelmed when it comes to decision making, you just feel disconnected right now, then I have a treat for you. Click the link in the description below, because I have a webinar that I really love you to see. This will help you break down how it all started, but also how to move past it. So in that webinar, I'm talking about how to stop feeling professionally behind and underqualified. And what I want you to do is really think about how you have been consistently pushing yourself away from the things that you know are good for you, the things that you want out of life in your career. So make sure you click the link below, register for that webinar so that you don't miss out. And I really do hope that this helped you. I hope that you're walking away with things that feel meaningful to you, that have given you kind of like that thought bubble that will linger with you for the rest of the day. But if you are, make sure you comment below. If you have questions, maybe I said something in your life, ask your questions below, like this video. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more career advice. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.